This is how I feel every time somebody says, well, the Bible says, okay, the Bible says what? It was a fucking book, and it was written by a bunch of wife beaters and slave owners and homophobes and pedophiles. The same book that was used to justify the concept of manifest destiny, thus creating the idea that being genocidal toward native people and literally trying to wipe them out and calling them savages for not being in the same cult as them. The book that literally worships colonization and patriarchal values. The same book that's the fucking pamphlet and the poster child for the made-up myth by a bunch of misogynistic men claiming that a woman who wanted more from her abuser and refused to accept that her blind loyalty and forced acceptance into a so-called paradise that was actually her enslavement, she wanted more than that. And the Bible was like, nah, we're gonna eternally punish her for being a demon. We're also gonna glorify the concept of raping teenage girls because Mother Mary was what? I'm sorry, Immaculate Conception? So God fucked her and she had a child. And that's normal. No wonder pastors are touching children and thinking that it's holy. The same Bible that claims to be the definition and the do-all end-all determination of what love means, yet it's forcing kids conversion therapy right now and telling them that they're inherently vile and dirty and sinful for literally having a crush and being in love. The same book that was held over the heads of women that were murdered, tortured, and burned at stakes for literally not submitting to the patriarchy or doing something as simple as owning land. The same book that constantly talks about being righteous and having morals and values, yet the basis of the religion is to either glorify and enable abusers and abusive ideologies and then demonize people who don't want to put up with that and can see through it and know that it's an illusion and it's fucking wrong, and also condones owning slaves, and also condones abusing your wife, and also condones hitting your children. We know exactly what the fucking Bible says, okay? It's a book. If you know how to read, you can read it. And you don't even need to fully read the Bible to understand how fucked up religion fundamentally is because, well, it's created its own shitty reputation and track record for literally thousands of years. I don't give a fuck what a book says. There's a book right now being written by a full-on sex offender talking about how the criminal justice system needs to cut back on punishments for sex offenders. And I especially don't give a fuck what a book says when it's the Bible, considering the fact that it was literally written by a bunch of psychopaths that hate anybody that knows how to think critically and not be controlled and not worship their own abusers and oppression. People who need a book to tell them how to think and who they are and what love means and what the truth is, they're always going to be chasing something that's never there, and there's a reason why people who don't buy into that see through it. It's because we know how to use our minds, and we hold enough dignity towards ourselves and other forms of life to understand that we are worthy of trusting ourselves and our own inner compasses, and we don't need some narcissistic, non-existent freak in the sky to tell us who we are and what we stand for, and we especially don't need anybody to tell us right from wrong. We know that being a good person and our beliefs and our values don't need to come from a place of somebody telling us, you need to think this way because if you think the other way, it's wrong. Your sense of morality and your sense of love and justice and truth and peace and compassion, you really should not need a book to tell you what those things are or why they matter. If your source of what those things are comes from a book, then it's not coming from you. And I want to be around people who know who they are and what they stand for outside of just being told it because they think they're supposed to think that way or they're supposed to be that way or live that way. Because when it comes from who you are instead of who you are told to be, it's just so, those are completely different types of people. And I genuinely feel like a lot of people that I've met that are religious and then they think I'm chill, and then they find out that I'm not religious, and they look at me like I'm the devil. It's like, okay, so you were chill with the way I think, and you like the way that I am, and you like certain things about me, and you admire my values, and you think all these positive things about me, but when you find out that I'm not indoctrinated, and that who I am and those parts of me that you're fond of don't come from indoctrination, especially religious indoctrination, then suddenly you're threatened. So it's like, I feel like so many of people who are religious, they don't even care about being a good person. They just care about who's a good Christian or who's a good Mormon or who's a good Catholic or who's a good this or that. You just want people to be brainwashed because it's the only way that you know how to live and exist inside your own body. And when you see that other people aren't, it genuinely threatens the fuck out of you. And here's the thing. People who aren't religious and people who have and are currently deconstructing from religion, we know that. We know that we aren't just misunderstanding you. We know that we're seeing through you. And no amount of shame or stigmatism or shunning us for being able to have that sense of sight That sense of discernment and that sense of self is going to stop us from being who we are. You can't convince somebody who values personal awareness and social awareness more than cognitive dissonance to put that cognitive dissonance on a pedestal, let alone listen to it in any serious regard. That's like trying to condition a surgeon to not sterilize a scalpel before using it. And the roots of somebody's intentions who gets triggered by how little they can control you, those are not godly, those are not holy, those are not divine, those are not good, those are not even decent. They're cruel and they're fucking sick.